Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Joy of Sticks. Stickhead here with your Atari ST gaming channel, and we are continuing our tour of racing games, continuing our tour of the Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge series. This is the third one in the series, Lotus 3, the Ultimate Challenge. Now let's have a little bit of a recap on what we've found about the series so far. Now, the first in the series, Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, was the one that I played as a lad. And I loved it. I've said in that video and in previous videos that it just has two of the really key elements that make a good racing game for me, and that is the thrill of overtaking and the sense of speed. It's got both of those, and it's just a great game. Now the second one, there were a couple of disappointing elements. The lack of refueling, the fact that they replaced straight racing around circuits with point-to-point races against the clock. I don't find that as exhilarating. But yeah, apart from that, it's a great game. There were a number of improvements. The graphical engine, for one, you could play as in the whole screen, which was great. I mean, the graphics as well had obviously been touched up, nicer animation. The trackside obstacles were all really nicely drawn, and things like that. So it's still a great game. It just misses a couple of those elements that I really enjoyed from the first one. So here we go with the third one. Let's see how we get on with this. I'm kind of thinking we could go either way with this, really. First one is brilliant, the second one is very good, a couple of disappointing elements. Will this one bring in something a bit extra to make up for those losses, or will it go the other way? Let's find out, shall we? Now I should say that for those of you that saw my pickups video where I opened a package from YouTube user Logins1969, he gave me, rather generously, a... Oh! No, I did actually want to look at that screen. Never mind. I accidentally pressed the fire button there. He gave me a USB Competition Pro joystick, which is rather excellent. So I'll be playing with that today to see what it's like, basically. Now I do need to go back because oh nice, escape works, sends me back to the screen. Perfect. I do need to go back because I need to pick computerized gears. It's the way that I've always played this game. And also accelerate as up on the joystick, otherwise I'll be completely hopeless, or more hopeless perhaps I should say. Okay, so what we've got here, game. Oh, maybe you can do races. Is that against the clock and that's races? I hope so. Okay, that seems to be difficulty, I think, maybe. Quite sure what these are. We'll stick with the first default setting on that. One player, obviously some kind of code so you can continue. We're only in one player. Constructor and define. Now I know this game has some kind of track editor, so I'd imagine those two options there, constructor, Rex and define, have something to do with that. But we won't look at those just yet. We might come back to those later. Alright, let's have a crack. I'm particularly excited to see that checkered flag icon. Might mean that we've got to go with the car with the highest top speed, the classic Turbo Esprit, surely. Has it got weight? Handling in the middle, so the handling's pretty poor. So the Esprit is all about speed, it's not very good at handling. The Elan is the opposite, and this seems to be in the middle ground. It's good at braking. I'm going to go with the Elan, I think. I like the idea of being able to handle the car. Oh, it's nice that this has made a return. You can pick the track to race to. But even though I like the choice, and you know, a different playthrough of the game, I might pick the music to listen to, I find that the sound of the engine and collisions just add too much to the ambience, to the feel of the game to do without. So we'll stick to sound effects. Ooh, that's a bit of a windy autumnal day. Where are we? Caribbean. That must be some kind of ancient civilization in Central America or something. Alright, we're off. Okay. So far, so much Lotus. Oh, hang on a minute, what was that? Something very strange going on with the handling of the car. Yeah, I'm actually being blown across the track by the wind. That's really bizarre. Because, oh my word, I think if wind conditions were that bad, that a ton's worth of car could be thrown across a track, I think they might think about calling off this race. It's quite funny that when those tumbleweeds hit my car, they make noises as well. Now, is this a circuit? I don't know if it is a circuit. It is, isn't it? Fantastic. And there's pits as well. And I've got fuel. Ah, fantastic. It's nice to see those have made a bit of a comeback. I'm guessing that's my fuel on the top right there. Yeah, must be. So 5th on the top left is my gear. So is that 0, 1? Is that my position? Top right, I think it is. And we've got that progression meter back again. That's nice to see. So I know exactly where I am in the race to help me with my fueling strategy. Now, is it me or is the frame rate lower than the other games? That's a bit of a shame if it is. I'm not getting the same impression of speed, and the smoothness is missing, I think, from the last 2 games. The way the road, the pattern on the road is scrolling is the giveaway. I don't know. Perhaps go back to look at one of the other videos and see if you can see the difference, but it's definitely not right. Oh, low fuel. Am I going to make it? Oh, it's bizarre, that wind blowing me across. How strange. Alright. Oh my word, I thought I was going to make it easily, but I am actually running out. It's not quite as terrifying as the low fuel sound in the original. Burp! 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 There we go, we're done. Well, that was really easy. That was only 3 laps, so I'm guessing we'll get longer races as we go on, and we will need to fuel. The classic names are back again. Nigel Mainsail, Elaine Phosphate, Ricardo Pastry, nice. Ayrton Sendup. Fantastic. So it's good to see those. Oh, and that's nice. That is a nice touch. Because before, I'm pretty sure you could just pick your music or your sound effects and you'd be stuck with that selection for all the races. Whereas now, it seems like you could change it between every track, so that's a good touch. I likes it. I also like the slightly funky music. Yeah, so there's been the return of a few of the nice touches of the original that I missed from Lotus 2, so that's good to see. We got the tunnels as well from Lotus 2, that's cool. So yeah, having he's a bit aggressive, isn't he? Calm down. Ah, the night races, I remember these from Lotus 2. The effect's still looking a bit dodgy on the old emulator. But I did test it out on a CRT, and like a lot of people said in the comments, it does look a lot better on a proper ST, on a CRT. You're absolutely right. Those kind of black splodges on the cars do start to blend in and give the impression of them disappearing into the murk. So yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, it's great to see some of the return of those really cool features from the original. We've got the race progression meter. We've got circuit races for position. All good stuff. Oh, no, that was one. I'm definitely going to need to refuel, I think. It would be taking it pretty close to the wire if I didn't. So we'll pop in for some fuel on one of these laps. Let's try and put some distance between us and the computer cars first. You really can only see a few meters ahead of you. Again, like in the in Lotus 2, the tunnels are a godsend because they're all lit up, and there's no problems with visibility in the tunnels. Whoa. These corners are sneaking up on me. Yeah, so it's just a shame that the frame rate and the smoothness isn't quite there, because it's got so much. Oh, hello. It's got so much else going for it. I mean, it's got the nice big screen of Lotus 2, it's got the night tracks, and obviously it's going to have the different weather and stuff like that. It's got the choice of cars, and then it's added some of the things from the original that I really liked. I mean, this could be the definitive version, but it just doesn't seem as smooth and as responsive, which is a real shame. Oh, every time I get caught out by that one. Right, we desperately need fuel now. Desperately need fuel. I'd be interested to see what the fueling animation is, because that was quite cool in the original. Oh, nasty. Oh, slow. Get in there, get in there. Oh, that's a bit disappointing. A red, go on then. A red triangle. Is that all we get? And I'm in fourth. What? Oh no, I keep looking at my gear. I was looking at my gear then, and I went from fourth to fifth, and I thought nobody overtook me. What's going on? But it was my gear. Never mind. So yeah, a bit of a report on the joystick that Login's getting me. This is awesome. Awesome. It's really responsive. The micro switches are so definite, they're so clicky, and the response you get, you know exactly when you're activating the directions. Oh, the same corner again. I mean, this is just one step closer to playing on an authentic Atari ST. It's absolutely awesome. I can't wait to play some other games. Works well with racing game, but I'd like to see what it works like with IK Plus games like that. Alright, there we go, another first place. Bonus. Seems like Nigel Mainsail is my main rival for this tournament. Yep, there we go. 10 points behind. I keep this kind of performance up, we should be alright. What does that mean then? I guess it's a mud track. It'd be interesting to see if that has any effect on the handling of the car, whether you slide about anymore, or hard to know how they would implement that really, apart from taking away the traction of your tyres a little. Yeah, I knew you were going to do that, Mr. Red Car. Haha! This track is very thin and narrow. Whoa! Oh no, I don't like that. That's probably hard for you to see, but the mud has made my car, or my car's response to my controls, really touchy. So the slightest touch in the opposite direction sends you full tilt in the other direction. Oh, that's really hard to get used to. It's just made it really, really twitchy. Oh, what was that in the road then? Oh, 9th place, come on. That must be oil. Oh no, because some kind of mud. Ah, oh, flipping heck. I'm not enjoying this narrow track at all. Right, get out of the way. There we go. Right, we're in business. Got some catching up to do now. Oh, see, it's too... Because I'm used to, when I come out of a corner, cancelling the turn a little with a bit of the opposite direction, just a little tap. Sometimes, especially if I'm on the inside. And doing that actually straightens up your car and sends you the other way faster than just letting go, which just feels really weird. Like that. Oh! Sends me into one of those ridiculous repeated oversteer things. No, I don't like that at all. Especially if you're going to put me on a really narrow track, giving me over twitchy controls is not a good idea. Of course they want to add challenge and something different to these tracks, but I think as a games designer you need to have fun as the bottom line really in everything you do. I think, is it more fun for us to do that? And that feeling of your car being slightly out of control is not fun. Especially in a game where the controls are normally so tight. Right, I'm going in for the pits. I've definitely got enough now. And I'm still in first, so happy days. Yeah, I'm still thinking that the frame rate's not quite there. The scaling doesn't look quite as smooth. That pattern on the road doesn't seem to, I don't know, be as consistent, if you know what I mean. So I can't quite put my finger on. I mean, this should be the definitive version of the game, the way they've got all the cool things from the first one, all the improvements from the second, and they've put them together.